Hey guys, Wade, Texas Long Range Hunting. Today we're going to kind of go over some of the stuff we talked about in the intro into long range hunting video. We're going to break it down video by video of each independent section I talked about in the quick video the other day for the guys who want to know more information. Today we're going to talk about practice because I call that the most important thing other than your platform and your optics and everything else. But practice is something that a lot of guys overlook. Most guys get the rifle out right for deer season. They shoot it like 25 yards and it's good to go. I saw on a video somewhere that it's good for whatever. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. If you want to shoot long range in a hunting scenario, make those ethical kill shots, you need to practice. In my personal opinion, it's not just practicing at longer ranges. It's practicing your marksmanship skills, because that needs to be second nature. That needs to be muscle memory, your basic marksmanship fundamentals, trigger pull, cheek weld, and all that good stuff. There's tons of videos out there on YouTube that goes over other stuff like that if you need to back up and go down that rabbit hole further, but we're just going to briefly discuss some things that I do myself. I myself shoot a lot at a 100-yard bench, and then I go out to 500 yards off a bench at the range, and then I'll lay down prone and shoot out to 1,000 and beyond. And then I'll break out the tripod and shoot off of it and stuff like that. And it really just depends on what type of hunt I have coming up. During varmint season, I shoot at my chairs a lot in practice because that's where we're going to be doing most of our hunting. And the rest of the time, I'm practicing off my shooting sticks. I'm always practicing my basic marksmanship skills off of whatever scenario I'm going to be shooting from. But I always come back to the bench, because when you become proficient on the bench, your basic marksmanship skills are pretty in tune, and then you just kind of adapt to whatever scenario you're doing as far as what you're shooting off of. Without those basic marksmanship skills, you will never become proficient in the other types of scenarios because you never perfected your marksmanship skills, and that is something that you really need to work on throughout time. That's just not something you perfect once and you're great at it. It's just something you need to practice, because the more it's more muscle memory, the more you're not going to have to worry about it when you're in the field. You're doing everything else, especially if you're hunting alone. You're trying to get windage, you're trying to get your elevation, and all this other stuff's going on. You don't want to have to worry about, is my cheek weld good? Am I pulling trigger right? You just want to be able to do those things naturally, and the only way to become proficient at that is through practice. Now, you don't have to practice with your long-range hunting rifle. You can use a .22, and we discussed that in the other video. Basic marksmanship skills are basic marksmanship skills no matter what you have in your hands. Same thing goes with pistols. If you practice shooting pistol all the time and you really focus on them basic fundamentals, you'll become proficient with the pistol. Same thing goes across the board. Shotguns, ARs, everything else. There's basic marksmanship skills that need to be applied, but those skills need to be practiced so you don't have to think about it. So we can go to the range, we can shoot 100 yards and all that kind of stuff, and then once we kind of feel like we're proficient at that, we're going to shoot from our platform that we're going to be hunting from, whatever it may be. But what else can we do? A lot of guys don't have a range at their house. A lot of guys don't live near a range. Well, you can always go in your hallway, make sure your gun is clear, and do dry fire practice, because that is a good way to focus on those basic marksmanship skills. The thing I do myself when I'm not going to have time to get to the range that day, I'll lay it into my hallway and look at a doorknob that's in the bathroom and focus on the very center of that and run through dry fire drills where I'm running the bolts and I'm focusing on my trigger pull and everything else, and I'm watching those crosshairs and make sure they're staying on target. That will still build those basic fundamentals up to where everything's second nature to you, and it's just muscle memory at that point. You ever wonder how people can type without looking at a keyboard, or little kids can play video games and they're hitting 47 buttons all at once and they're never even looking at a controller? That's muscle memory. That needs to be what you have with your bolt action platform or your semi-auto platform in order to be able to not worry about one more thing when you're trying to worry about the animal in front of you. So, and the only way to do that is get out and practice. Now, everybody has their own opinions, and you can develop your own once you develop your own marksmanship skills, and those have to be developed right there on a bench or laying prone, something like that. That's it for this week. We'll see you guys next time.